And we're live. Painkiller Nearly, episode 202. We did wing surgery talk.
Sure.
So
yeah, let's discuss it. Good for him. I see you paid up, Woody.
I
so
did.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Now, even before you guys decide, just have this in your head. Of course, now you have to come up with another bet, which needs to be an over/under on the amount.
Oh,
of
we
weight
already
lost.
have that.
Wait,
oh,
I don't have it. Who do you have?
First of all, I think that everyone should know that it's a massive conspiracy. Wings did not get that surgery.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He flew to Mexico.
So that
did make an
real.
incision.
Nah, he didn't even make it to Mexico. He was in a Chevy's in South Carolina. Where he was at.
He was paid $15,000 to have cocaine inserted into his large belly. That's what the incision was about, and smuggle it across the border. That's what it's all
probably a more
about.
fun way to lose weight is just do a lot of cocaine, right?
He's going the Archer route. Remember Pam?
Mm-hmm.
She started doing lots of coke, turned into sexy Pam. That's what we've got going on here. This is a Pam from Archer scenario.
Well, good for Wings. You know, being entrepreneurial, starting up a nice. I mean, there's lots of business opportunities with the cartels down there.
He said it in
coke
his
is not the
thing.
problem.
He's like, Woody inspired me. I just have to be brave for 30 seconds while they insert the cocaine. It all comes together.
Yeah, I bet that he would lose. So, in a 2-month period, I bet that he would lose 65 pounds.
Who did you bet?
That's my number.
Was it Chiz?
Chiz and Kitty and a couple, and like Mitty and a couple guys I play video games
Well,
with.
I need to think. 65 pounds.
65. Is that the over/under? And which side did you choose?
There is no over and under. It's not Price is Right rules. It's whoever's closest. So you can go over and still be fine. I picked 65 pounds. Kitty picked 80 pounds. Chiz also picked 65 pounds.
No, can't do that. I'm not allowing these. You have to have different bets, even if you don't believe it.
But we're going in 5-pound increments, so things don't get too convoluted. And 2 other guys went 70 pounds, and so everybody kind of has a 5-pound increment from.
So it's
40,
a pool, and yeah.
It's
did you look up averages before you decided?
No, I just did some like silly math in my head and like what I think he'll do, and it just
what's
seems
the
like
date?
There are dates out there. I just don't have it in my head.
Oh, it's not like this year.
He weighed himself on a specific day, and he set himself a personal goal of 40 pounds in 2 months. And so there's going to be an official weigh-in on his channel. And then Kitty also has contact with him via text. So we will get an official weigh-in from Wings. I'm hoping Kitty doesn't just tell me it's 80. And then she collects like a cool $200 or something like that. But
that'd be pretty shitty of Kitty.
Yeah, that'd be devious as fuck.
I don't think she would do that.
No, of course not. So it's 60 days.
80, that's a lot of confidence.
Well, I think if it were anyone but Wings, let me put it this way: if it were me, I would lose 80 or 90 pounds. I lost. 14.
Yeah, but you can't drop yourself in that situation because you don't have a problem with overeating to the point that you get overweight. To cull it back. Like, how much have you lost in the last 2 weeks?
In 2 weeks, I started 15 pounds.
Yeah. So you wouldn't even, with your mindset, you would have never found yourself in this predicament.
No,
it's kind
of
of
you just cut yourself down to one tiny meal a day and drink a lot of water. Stop being a faggot.
If you guzzle a fuck ton of water, you can trick yourself into thinking you're full. Now, it's not a fun time.
I wish that
were
true.
Works.
Maybe I'm not drinking a proper fuck ton. Ooh, you know what does work, although it's not calorie free? I find milk satiates me. If I have a glass of milk, it'll be a meal replacement sometimes.
What kind of milk? Skim, 2% or full?
It is full milk. That's all we have in the house.
Well, no
full
wonder. Big glass of fat really fills me.
I keep hearing all kinds of different things about milk. Like if you get the skim milk, it has sugar in it, and then it's actually worse for you than the whole milk. We have organic whole milk. I don't know. I'm sure it's not good for you, but it is better than whatever I would cheat with otherwise.
Probably so. It's
only
only
100 calories for 8 ounces of whole milk. But if you're like me, I'm not grabbing those 8-ounce bitch glasses when I want some juice or some milk. I'm getting the giant beer stein and doubling that up because I love it. I don't have milk that often, but it's great.
I don't have juice.
Are you drinking milk right now?
No.
Out of a beer stein?
No.
Is it water?
Yeah, it is water. I drink a lot of iced coffee too. That's pretty much it because I want to keep my heart rate up. to a dangerous level.
I keep my heart rate right at my peak, so that if I ever am in a self-defense situation, I'm immediately there. I don't have a spike; I'm already there.
That's
God,
funny.
my blood vessels hurt.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's 65 pounds, and Chiz and I'll split the winnings or whatever.
Now that he's said his goal is 40 pounds, that's making me want to ratchet down my guess a bit. Because
no. See, he's not a moron. Wings has picked an attainable goal. That's what's happened here. Wings has picked a goal. He doesn't want to fail. No one likes failing.
Of course not.
And instead of like one of us might say something like, my goal is to do 25 chin-ups by the fall, and like maybe right now we can do 8 or whatever. Like maybe we set a high goal like that. But like he would be like, my goal is to get to 10. That way, when the fall comes and he cranks out 10, he's like, goal achieved, winner.
Winner.
He's not pushing himself here. I think 40 pounds is silly because, like, listen to this. And I hope I'm not getting this right because he gets very offended if you've got even the tiniest. Oh, I got to go pay this detail guy. I'll be right back.
Oh. So I feel like we're still teasing Wings, and I want to be on the other side. Like, I'm impressed with Wings.
I don't think it's teasing to bet on the weight loss.
I guess that's true. That's fair. But I don't know. I think it's great. I think he did something that can change his life. And
yeah, it will change his life as long as he follows through and doesn't eat through the surgery like some people are known to do.
I hear you. I don't know. I really have.
I hope he succeeds. Just look
hopes.
at Boogie's demeanor, and I don't really follow Boogie's channel, but I follow him on Twitter, and so every once in a while I'll see something from him, and it seems like his whole outlook has improved drastically since he started losing weight.
I think if you followed him more closely, I think he's struggling a bit right now. He's got...
Well, shows what I know.
Yeah.
Actually, Taylor, you couldn't be more wrong.
No, the divorce is, he isn't completely over that, and I guess shucks, I think he just started losing weight again, but he plateaued for a while, and that was mentally tough on him. So it
seems like plateauing is a dangerous game when you have his kind of surgery, where like they just excise a part of your stomach. Because
Okay.
if you're plateauing, it's because you're overeating. Like you're not eating the prescribed diet. And so if you're continually overeating, you're going to end up stretching that stomach back out to where it's not even as painful to eat as much, Like it's almost like, it gets easier to cheat over time with that stomach excision one. Or I guess with any.
Yeah. The detail guy came to detail my car, and it was going to be like $300.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how about I just deal with you personally? He's like, yeah, we can do that. I was like, well, let's just cancel the whole appointment with your company, and you detail the car, and I'll give you $250. He's like, yeah, that sounds like a good deal.
Nice.
He was out there 5 hours. That car looks like a mirror.
Well, let me know how the next criminal case goes.
Hey, Kyle shouldn't be in trouble for that. That guy's just contracting out his labor.
I worked out a deal with the lawn people too. I enjoy negotiating.
I'm not going to call ICE if you get this done in the next half hour.
I was, they work for a company that works for the houses in the neighborhood, and I was like, "Well, you do my lawn for this much." Yeah. All right. I don't remember what we were talking about.
We're talking about Wings, our weight bets. Which, if you're going 65, I'm going to go 60.
You in for 10?
I'm in for 10.
Now, just so you know, it's probably not a full split for you if you're at 60, because I think there's probably someone else at 60.
I need to figure out where everybody else guessed,
Yeah,
I can pick one where I'd get the full split.
Right? That kind of makes sense. Like, if 55 pays double, even though 60 is your favorite number, 55 might be your smarter bet.
Yeah, we're gonna be like in the last minute of the 2 months we've allotted, like sending pizzas to Wings' house. Like, no, you better slow the fuck down, Wings. I've got $200 on the line here.
I saw is actually Sean Ranklin, but he put together a stream highlight of Wings talking about the surgery, And he's like, I'm not even hungry right now. He's like, I'm going to have this shake or something. I'll split it into 6 different meals so he gets to have it in little pieces. And he didn't have a desire for food. And then he started talking about food in a way that, like, I don't think even Kyle does. He's like, I'm still me. It's not like I don't look at a guy at Zaxby's having like some sweet barbecue with that sauce on there dripping from the from the wings and a tall glass of sweet tea with ice.
Dude, I'm the same
cooling
way.
it down.
No, you're saying this right
and
now.
I'm like,
and
oh my god, this is like food porn, audio food porn going on here. Like,
You're turning me on. You're turning me on. I've eaten nothing but like turkey and salad and grilled chicken for 2 weeks now. That sounds so good. It sounds so good.
But
Well,
like,
you can go back to eating like shit as soon as you hit your goal.
it was like a
2 more weeks to go.
40-minute highlight video, and man, I he's just talking, he's bouncing around, whatever, and then he got to like, it's not that I still don't desire food, and he starts daydreaming about these meals, fast food type meals, and he has a different relationship with food than I do.
All right,
Yeah.
Taylor. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of us in this thing. So there's a $130 pool currently. There are 2 people who have already picked 60 pounds.
What about 55?
2 people there as well.
Damn it!
You can see what
What
the
about
cluster
50?
is.
There's only 1 at 50. There's 1 at 45. No one below 45.
God darn, you've got a lot of
Oh,
people
my,
in
this
this pool.
is gonna be fun. Even if I win, I'm like, yeah, 1750. Like, I barely got a return at all. Yeah, I'm still thinking 60 is where I'd want to go.
Where you want to go, or it's where you're going?
I don't know. Woody, where are you gonna go?
I'm not sure I'm going to play this game. What does it look like at 75 and 80?
Kitty is the only person at 80. There are 2 people at 75, 2 at 70, 2 at 65, 2 at 60, 2 at 55, 1 at 50, 1 at 45.
See, the reason I want to go closer to the 40 is because he made his. It's not that I think that's like I agree with you that he aimed it lower, like because he wants to succeed, which is good. But I feel like, if he's tearing through the weight loss and he hits like 40 pounds in 6 weeks instead of the full 8 weeks, maybe he slows down a bit and doesn't go quite as hard in the paint because he's like, I've
that's
hit
the
my
thing.
goal. See,
This
so you
is-
can't
This
know.
is what I was going to get to
This is
before
why
I had to go to the
50
door.
might
I
be-
remembered it now. So his stomach is tiny, so he can't eat very much. But for the next 2 months, he can only eat liquid. There's no solids in his intake. I think he's eating sugar-free Jell-O, protein shakes, I suppose, and broth.
Well, this changes everything then.
You
I didn't
guys
know
are
that you
all
couldn't
going
eat
low, and I'll tell you why. Because he did what I think is the universally acceptable standard on weight loss. He's starting from the highest weight he's ever seen on a scale, right? So by the time the surgery started, he was already down like 30 pounds. He's going to lose 50 more.
Yeah.
He gained weight at the so I don't have the entire saga memorized, but okay, so he was 448, and
Are
then
you
he
sure that's the cap? I think the starting
then-
weight might be higher.
it may be, but like a
Was
week ago he was
448
at like
when he started the
448.
surgery.
Yeah, I think so. But then he went in and they filled him up with IVs, and he said he gained I think he said he gained 10 or 15 pounds from IVs,
I think I remember that too.
Like
which
fluids
is
and stuff.
like a couple of gallons of water.
It is
Okay.
about 3 gallons of water.
My car doesn't take that much coolant. I just don't know about it.
Yeah, that's a lot of liquid.
3
Where's it
gallons.
going?
He's got
So,
space.
But the starting weight for the bet, and it begins on June 30th, that was the weigh-in, is 438 pounds.
Ooh, okay. Because I thought it was like 470. I thought he was already down 30 pounds at the start of this bet.
He is he is down a bit. He's down to 438, and I believe his high was somewhere near what you just said, like 470.
Yeah, all right. But you've defined the start weight differently than I thought, so that changes where. my
If
head is.
yes,
he's not allowed to eat
I
any
understand.
solids whatsoever, and for the next 2 fucking months, I'm more inclined to be on Kitty's side than yours now,
Right?
because like the amount of food he's eaten to get to that size, like just like Kyle, your crash diets in 2 weeks, you'll lose 15 pounds, and you're
Yeah.
still eating solids.
Yeah.
Like on an all liquid diet, how caloric could that possibly be? Yeah, I would. I'll join Kitty up there at 80.
Okay. Sure you don't you go 85 and be all by yourself.
Man, I'll be having to send like motivational poster images to Wings throughout the weeks. You know, like,
Be
like
sure to
that
drink
cat
ice
holding
water.
on to the ledge.
It'll make your body has to warm itself. That burns calories.
Sleep. Oh no, I guess it's summer. Damn it. Well, your body also needs to cool itself, so sleep outside.
How much are you panting per day?
You'll have to replace all the blood lost to mosquitoes. So all those calories. Yeah, I'll do 80 with Kitty.
All right.
80 with Kitty.
Taylor is in for 80.
And 438 was the number? Let's make that
Yeah,
440
438.
for math's sake. So that would mean he'd weigh 360?
Yep, 360 pounds. Man, he's gonna start looking different, like very, very soon.
Yeah.
And I bet after a little bit of this, he kind of gets addicted to it, where like he's like starting to feel excited. Like he's still like Wings is young enough that like once he starts losing a bunch of weight, he could go out and do fun shit. Like it's not like he's a 55-year-old or something like that's been in terrible shape their whole life. He could pick up an athletic hobby. I mean that's probably not his cup of tea, but he could, start hiking, start enjoying nature more, like walking around for fun instead of, obligation. So he, like once he sees that on the horizon, I hope he actually sticks with it.
I don't think he has a choice. I think he's gonna lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his face is going to look so different.
gonna look
The subreddit's
weird.
going to be filled with before and after pictures and stuff like that, where he looks so
Yep.
much better. Boogie's before and after pictures look so much better.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah.
has a nice beard though, and I think that helps.
Or
And
does
a
the
full head
fact
of
that
hair.
Wings doesn't
Those-
have like a great beard help? Because that's a before picture too. His before picture doesn't have the beard benefit.
I'm just thinking
Well,
about
but Wings
what he's
doesn't have a
going
beard
to
right
look
now, does he?
like. He grows this like neck beard thing around his chin and like the bottom of his jaw.
Little Abe Lincoln-y.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That Fat Lincoln. It's not great. And he's bald
gonna look
too.
way
So
better.
I think he's
Like-
gonna look like Uncle Fester.
This area here is gonna lose a bunch of weight, lose all that neck fat. Like, I mean, it's not like this is selective to him, where everybody who's fat loses weight. But
He's gonna go down 2 or 3 cup sizes.
get all the way down to the training. So
Oh, he's never getting makeup. That's not happening. It's not happening. He's gonna be a C cup for life unless he gets that skin surgery. I think
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
get
lose
skin surgery at some point. If you can't lose, what's his final goal? Like his real deal. This is when I'm gonna stop losing weight goal. Like 200, 180.
I don't know if he's ever.
I've
I'm
heard
sure
him
he's
say
like-
250 as a goal before. I've
be
heard him
weird
say
looking.
that he's never going to weigh 170 or something like that.
He might. There's nothing stopping him. Like I bet if he really ratchets it up and works hard, he'll get to 250 and realize like, oh, this is like still overweight, like by quite a bit. I can keep tearing through this. This isn't hard.
I wish that I don't understand why everyone doesn't line up with me on the skin surgery, right? I get that it's a big surgery and stuff, but now that he's had a surgery, he knows that an aspect of surgery that I find relieving. I don't know how many surgeries I've had. For people that don't know me, 10, 15 surgeries, I a bunch. And now I'm just, it's not my job, right? My job is to pay the bills and go to sleep. That is my role in the surgery. You guys handle all that other shit. It takes away my nervousness. I don't have anything to do. It's not my responsibility. So he's worried about this big skin surgery. Dude, pay the bill and go to sleep. You'll wake up with all that skin gone, and it will be amazing. It's a reward for success. It's not something that you have to endure. It's not a train at the end of the tunnel. It's the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. And they let you keep the skin afterward. You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
You can tan it out. You can
Handbags,
make
lamps,
handbags out of it. Lamps.
lampshades, of course. And I'm not sick.
Drums. What else is? How you would know this? What's human skin useful for?
I think he should fry it up into some sort of like, you know, have you ever had pig skins?
A wings rind.
Wings rinds. They're so good, and they're they're carb free.
Yeah.
And I bet after years of just eating terrible food, his tastes salty and delicious.
It's like that South Park where Cartman farts on the burgers and it gives it that perfect mist of Taco Bell and Burger King and Chick-fil-A and all of it. That's what wings rind would taste like, the perfect tasting food item.
It would be incredible. I would eat a wings rind. Not even kidding.
I mean, this is a way down the road, but maybe we can set a Patreon goal or something to get our hands on that.
Wings rinds, hot wings rinds. Get it whether
wings ride, wings ride.
We make so much money selling wings rinds that we're like, I'm sorry, wings, you have to get fat again. You got to stretch all the way back out. We need more wings rinds.
Yep, we'll have competitors pop up with other fat people's rinds and try to imitate us. They'll become the Pepsi to our Coke. But we'll have to stick with, Wings Rind Classic, which will involve Wings having to gain weight again. So, write this down next to Tilk. We got a whole line of snack products for Frank's Fluids. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, but I hope he loses the weight, and I hope he loses exactly 65 pounds.
I hope he loses 80. I'm super optimistic for him.
Yeah,
I think he'll do it.
I think he's going to lose a lot. I don't know what the number's going to be, but you're going to see the difference. And when you start seeing the difference, people are going to be so proud of him. The way that they treat him online is going to be different. And his outlook could get more positive. Because right now, what happened is this whole thing kicked off when he was being really toxic. I know he doesn't see it. He's got a weird thing where he judges himself by his best intentions and other people judge him by his worst actions, right? And the gap between his intentions and his worst actions is huge. So anyway, he started by being pretty toxic. And he'd be like, why is everyone giving me such a hard time? I'm only toxic during video games. If you saw me watching TV, you'd like me a bunch, right? Or something like that. He's going to be less toxic when he's in a better place. And then they're going to be more positive. And it's going to sweep into this like self-feeding cycle of positivity. That's how I see this going.
I hope so. But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Maybe he ends up he's like, maybe, I don't know how big his tummy is now, maybe 4 ounces. Maybe he starts doing 4 ounces of milkshakes 12 times a day.
That would be wonderful.
Like a terrible way you'd have to like have phone alarms set where it was like, oh, another 25 minutes passed, I can get another 4 ounces of milkshake down.
Did Kyle just shit on the cake shake diet? We don't do that around here, Kyle.
Well, 48 ounces a day.
Well, we initiated shitting on the cake shake diet. Oh, here's another bet. When will Wings ever pass Chiz?
Oh.
Now, Chiz has an enormous head start.
I don't know Chiz's weight. Kyle might, but might not want to say it on the show. He might want to write it in the Skype chat.
That's Chiz's information.
Yeah, that's his.
But yeah, Wings has a long way to go.
Chiz is also much taller.
I haven't even seen Chiz in years. Like the last time I saw Chiz in person, I think was at the whitewater rafting trip, and just dark, shadowy glimpses on Skype.
Yeah, yeah. That really. I literally haven't seen his. I guess almost 2 years since I've seen Chiz's actual face.
Yep.
Yeah, just.
So he could have changed a lot. He could have really long, braided hair.
He could have a Fu Manchu.
No, he just got a haircut.
You've seen Chiz, or do you just know about
his haircut?
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know what kind of haircut. He'll pop on eventually. Probably not. Would have happened by now if it was gonna happen. He has no interest, but that's okay.
Would you guys like to hear? Oh, I'm sorry. Carry on.
I was gonna say it's a long time before Wings passes Chiz. I would, and I think that if Chiz ever saw him catching up, like if Wings got within 40 pounds and he's losing 20 a month, I think that would be an actual motivation for Chiz.
Chiz might get on his horse and work on that 6-pack.
I don't think Shiz would like that very much if that was a thing. Like, hey,
Oh.
you weigh the same amount as Wings of Redemption, right?
Oh,
Mm.
do you know Wings just passed you? You know, like, oh, yeah, he would be like on the like playing Rocky soundtracks and running up the court stairs the next morning in the same clothes he always wears. But yeah,
Did you see Only Use Me Blade shit himself?
for like on
No, I
purpose.
heard he just peed on the couch. Am I crazy?
Wings? No, excuse me. Blade pissed himself, and he's like, I pissed myself. Everybody's like, ha 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 ha, that's funny, because it's funny if you piss yourself. It's not that humiliating in my opinion, especially if there's alcohol involved. It's like, you pissed yourself, man. You must have really had a night. And then someone sits on the couch. Have you ever seen the episode of Seinfeld with Poppy? Remember how Poppy peed on Jerry's couch?
Yeah.
Well, someone sits on the couch and they're like, what am I sitting in? What? Oh, it's liquid shit. Ice, come over here and smell this. And Ice like reluctantly puts his head near and he's just like, it's
No, do the
liquid
accent.
shit.
Oh my
Blade
God.
Oh,
shit
it's liquid
himself.
shit, man.
It was Blade shit his pants on the couch apparently, and now they're calling him Only Shits Me Pants.
Oh no, Blade!
Oh.
Whenever I see Blade do these wacky things,
Oh,
That's a wacky thing.
it
huh?
is a wacky thing. So Blade has had a bunch of these. There was the time, I think, for a $10 donation, he fingered his own anus on stream. Of course, he shit himself on Ice's thing, and he hit on that married woman. And there's some others. He dropped an N-bomb here and there. I picture him retelling these stories at the AA meeting he'll eventually go to.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. I mean, like, and I don't mean that in a horrible way. I hope that process begins soon. But I think that anyone who's denying that that's what his next step should be isn't being a friend to him, right?
Then Wings struck back at Blade because, of course, Blade has made fun of Wings' weight and said that
He
should
has,
lose.
yeah.
And so Wings said something like, "Hey, you told me I need to lay off the Pepsi. Maybe you need to sell your Jägermeister machine." Something along those lines. And it's like he's like, "Cause I'm doing my thing over here. I'm getting better." you know.
Advantage wings, you know?
that is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the real loser in all of this is the Airbnb couch.
Oh, it's not even Ice's couch, is it?
Of
It's,
course not.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Oh man. And
Did
you
you
know
read-
they're gonna
oh.
do a half-assed job cleaning it before they leave.
Oh,
No,
flip
they're-
the cushion. Flip the cushion.
They're not even. They I don't even know the characters' names. One of the big, a kind of a chunky Andy was sleeping on the couch, and I saw the video where the homeowner, or I guess the homeowner, goes in there. It's like, you guys got to check out. In 10 minutes, you need to be gone. And he gets up. I think he might have even saluted or something, or like, hey, I'm up. What do you need? He's shirtless, and they just like darted out of the place. They wanted them out immediately. There was no cleaning up.
Yeah.
So that, but yeah, I root for Blade in life, but I feel like his next step involves a bunch
Getting
of
some
people he
help.
knows on a first name basis.
And
Yeah.
only a first name basis.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
That is pretty rough.
So, yeah, and then I talked to him once years ago. I don't think this is revealing too much, but he's like, I've always found a way to make a living off of things that were vices, and it's kind of something that I found really special. It's like when I play too many video games, all of a sudden I've got a career centered around video games. Now I'm drinking too much, and I have a career around drunk streaming, and he's making money off it. He's making a living off of it. But in the end, these things are considered vices for a reason because they bite you, and you do too much of it, and suddenly you find that you could have been developing some other skill during that time, or you
like
got
pie eating or cutting yourself. A healthier thing than the man owns a Jägermeister machine. And I know it's kind of a novelty. You just stick bottles of Jägermeister in it, right? Like I don't even get the.
I would
the
think
point.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like it's making Jaeger. Now that would be a fucking cool machine. If you just like, yeah, you pour water in this in and you throw this bag of hops in and it's Jaeger.
Yeah.
But and I
6
like
months later?
Jägermeister, but no one likes it as much as Blade. I can remember drinking Jaeger bombs with Blade like 6 years ago or something like that. He could put them away.
He is
I don't even like Jaeger very much.
I love
like
it.
It's all right, but when you mix it with Red Bull, it gets way better.
Yeah.
I find ice fascinating. Did you read the Vanity Fair article on ice?
No.
No, I did not. Oh,
It's
they did a
long.
Vanity Fair article on him?
To print it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's the New Yorker. I made a mistake. It's the New Yorker, which is a pretty respectable magazine. It's like a classy magazine called the New Yorker. And the guy became an expert on ice. Everyone thought it was going to be a hit piece. And he went from new fag to like the oest of OGs. He laid out the entire ice history, did a pretty good job, talked about his highs and his lows, and really looked at his relationship with the fans in a pretty good way, and how he kind of loses them and wins them back, and seemed to know ice at a level that like a lot of people don't. Like he has a manager that he works with, and the guy's like, ice is kind of more real on stream than he is in person. Like that's when he bears his soul, and when the camera's on there. And I could relate to a lot of that too. It was just super well written. I think you guys might. I think even Taylor would like it, and he's not that into him.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
He's had a bit of drama lately. I haven't been following it at all, so I just get like snippets of the highlights, and then I don't really look into it. But it seemed as if someone stole his phone and maybe EBZ's tablet, and maybe they tracked it back to a house. And when they went to that house, there was a confrontation, and police were called. And I know that guns were pulled out. But I don't. I just those are the super broad strokes. I don't have any of the details. I just haven't been following it. I've been busy.
Yeah, I watched that. I just sort of skipped through it because I guess I don't know, 20 minutes of it wasn't interesting enough to me. But yeah, there was some sort of conflict, and they went back in the house and they pulled a gun, and the iPad was stolen, right? Or an iPhone was stolen. They went to get it back. Anyway, that didn't seem like that big a deal to me. I think maybe some people put more weight on gun stuff than I do. I'm arguing with a crazy person online about paramotors.
Wow, how much is there to argue about?
Well,
I'm strictly against it. If man were meant to fly, God would have graced us with wings. What?
This guy is an instructor, and he's widely known as being crazy in the industry.
That's what you want, teaching you how to fly?
Yeah.
A widely known and understood crazy person.
He's not a bad pilot. I don't know if he's a bad instructor, but he's batshit insane. So the background is this, real quick. This guy kicked an owl like 4 years ago while he was flying. He kicked an owl in mid-flight, and because of that, he lost the ability to sell U-Turn wings, a company that makes wings. They said, you know what, we're dropping you as our distributor. You're gone. So he's been hanging on to this one wing that was made like 8 years ago and saying it's the best of the best, and he hates every other wing. And I guess I kind of poked at him. Somebody's selling a different wing online, and he's like, why would you do that? Why don't you just dump this wing and get a Dominator, what he sells? It's the fastest, it's the most stable, etc. It went 51 miles an hour. Well, my friend went 109 miles an hour with a gigantic tailwind. And because these wings go like 30. The rest is all how fast the tailwind is. So, and I was like, do you think if you keep practicing every day, you'll ever be as fast as Mark? And he started going nuts on me. That lie doesn't work on intelligent people. You make up all sorts of lies, and you can't even make a simple video showing your true real speed because you can't compete. Why is there even one video of you scammers showing true and real speed? It doesn't exist. It's not true. If you put it out there on video. Do you want to go race me for cash? Let's go. Lies can't compete. I'm going to have to say yes to this. Lies can't compete with the actual truth. Seriously, what kind of idiots fly total death trap wings and still can't even compete with the performance of super safe wings? How does flying slower death traps make sense? It doesn't. Then you die. We'll have zero, all while zero have ever died on flat tops Dominators. You're totally dishonest, murderous liars like those that killed Eric, Jim, Richard, and Ben, and so many others. Don't deserve to fly hoax flex garbage and scout crap with air conception fake copies of the 1980 Sky Cruiser, but no amount of crap and lies will ever create actual ability. It doesn't make sense that you're even trying to lie, as lies only kill you and those like you. He goes on and on.
What a loser.
Yeah, he at one point he goes, the liars will bash, trash, and lie and mock because they simply don't have the intelligence or integrity to discuss something rationally. Those who do know what they're talking about can post videos. Like, I don't do that. If you want to know which two gliders are more stable, it's really simple. You just run them into each other. What the fuck? The less stable wing will collapse against the more stable wing. So Hope Flex death traps are not as stable. It's a proven fact. Bunch of capital spots littered throughout. They're not as fast. It's a proven fact. Plus, they're total death traps, which fact has been proven with many lives. And he's still blatantly obvious proven facts. He goes on and on. So I quote him. The liars will bash, trash, and lie and mock because they don't have the intelligence or integrity to discuss something rationally. I said, finally, we agree on something. Oh boy, now he loves me. He called me a murdering liar, pushing total frauds as instructors and crap as good gear, endlessly twisting up lies. BS doesn't change the facts. I guess you get the idea. He's kind of a broken record. But I don't know. You know, like, I guess this is an area where I do have thick skin because I find it super entertaining and I just poke him once in a while. And he goes off.
Yeah, you should race this guy for cash.
I mean, my goodness. Yeah, for pink slips. Like an 80s movie.
Oh, no, that would be funny.
That would be hilarious. Because I bet he couldn't just, on a lark, be like, oh, I lost. I'll buy another one. Like, he'd be like, oh, a hobby. And then he'd burn it. Now, see, objectively, this wing catches on fire.
This
like,
guy's legit crazy. He runs for governor of Utah, like, every time. Yeah, he does. He gets like 9 votes. But,
oh God,
but he's
who are those 9 people.
He's on the ballot. Friends and family, I guess. But yeah, he's
and he knows if they voted. He's like, I counted the votes. There were only 9. There were only 7 this year. I want to know which of you. I want to know which of you didn't fucking put a ballot in for me. Was it you, Jim? I voted. I swear to God. I took a picture there.
He's great. I really want to. There's a paragliding paramotor podcast. I really want to be on with him. I just want to see him go bonkers. I could go on. Death after death after death. Those people like Eric wouldn't have died, and he would have dealt with honest people to tell the truth. Instead, he died exactly as I warned he would. He goes on and on. He asked me why I choose to act like a lying, murderous fraud. It goes on.
He's a lying, murderous fraud.
Worse yet, you fly the absolute worst death trap garbage gear in the market without any real training or skills, so the odds are 100% that you will die, and then face God as a lying, murderous fraud. Obviously,
Jesus.
you mock God and pretend he doesn't exist, but that's
This is insane.
but that's
like
also going to be
fighting
a
words to me.
rude awakening for you that doesn't really need to happen if you follow truth and reality.
Like,
yeah,
you're gonna fight
if you
in the
actual
facts, right?
follow truth and reality, you best be listening to the future governor of Utah. And maybe president someday. I'm not going to put a cap on him. I'm not arrogant enough to say he couldn't be president.
Help me craft a
couldn't be the
response.
governor of Utah.
If I actually followed truth and reality, I would listen to the future governor of Utah? Question mark?
The future governor of Utah. He seemed like a butthurt douche from the comments. And then what really drove home the crazy for me was, yeah, he runs for governor of Utah every time.
Yep.
Every time. I mean, he's got the same little placards. He has to walk to Kinko's and just, same thing. Just
I
switch
swear
it to,
his little photo looked
2020.
out of date to me. I could probably find you a ballot.
That's all. Well, he's clearly an insane person, so I wouldn't let it get me down too much.
Yeah. And also don't go too hard against people who you can tell are legit insane, because you never know when they're just going to, accost you at an Arby's. Well, that's a bad example. I'd never be at an Arby's. Accost me at some other establishment. You like Arby's?
They have
Arby's
the
is
beats.
terrible.
Do you want to hear his governor pitch? I just found it.
Yeah, what are his stances?
Super Del Shanze, governor, Independent American Party. And there's a picture of him flying his paramotor. Everyone else has a headshot, but he's there foot dragging water in his paramotor. And here it is. Righteousness can solve every problem in the world. God made a promise. As ye keep my commandments, ye shall prosper in the land. The vast majority of our state are against murdering unborn children. You are against perversion and perversion of marriage. You are against more encroachment on your Second Amendment rights. The voice of the people and the Constitution are being utterly mocked. Triple exclamation points. Vote Super Del Shanze or face the judgments of God. And even one single vote can return to freedom and Constitution to the entire world would follow us. Your honor rests on your vote.
Honor rests. Vote for me or behold the wrath of God.
The judgments of God. Yeah. This is the guy who hates me online.
He doesn't seem to have a very positive outlook on most people. Evil and wickedness. And yeah, that's a crazy person. That's a genuinely crazy person.
Yeah, but
can you imagine any politician, And not only am I providing free health care, a vote against me is a vote against God. And it's like no. People would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I talked to him privately on it was text. It was like a Skype thing, but Facebook for hours, and I kept trying to find common ground and stuff and work it out. Like, hey, you know what? I know you don't like my wings and stuff, but my friend's buying a new harness for paragliding. Like, is there one that you like? And it was just like, oh, you lying murderous bastard. You are nowhere ready for that, etc., etc. He doesn't like me.
Doesn't seem like it.
No.
Well, keep poking and prodding him so we can get updates that are interesting.
I will. He's a good time.
Sounds like a crazy.
Man, I don't have any gubernatorial candidates to fuck with on Twitter.
You fuck with people plenty on Twitter, though.
None of them are running for governor.
Oh, so Destiny's our guest tomorrow. I don't know why. It's strangely important to me that that's a good show. Like, I've watched. I think it's easy to go down a rabbit hole with Destiny and do a show that's a little slow paced.
I saw a clip on the PKA Reddit where he's heard of the show. He's like, yeah, it's more of a meme comedy show. And he even was like, because a lot of his chat was like, don't just make it about politics. That's not what people want over there. They want laughs. And he even said, he's like, God, are you people fucking autistic? Do you think I'm just going to go in there and be like, what do you dislike about Trump? It's like, no, you don't have to be in the same one mode all the time. Like, he gets it. It'll be fun. And, I'm going to watch some more of his stuff to get more acquainted with his style of humor and everything. But Chiz says he's very dark, which will obviously mesh well with us. He's banned right now from Twitch for saying faggot and something about a Cuban family or mother. And so I want to ask him about that. Apparently Twitch just bans anyone for anything now.
I hope that we go down the rabbit hole and he does that serious Socratic method of questioning people, but it's about midget porn.
Yes. About midget porn.
What makes you think their penises are not normal size? It's a skeletal disease. If you knew
and then
anything,
we could just be like, nah, they're little people. They got little hands, little feet.
That cock looks small to me. You're used to porn cocks on this website, Taylor. That is a normal cock. I hope that we go down that rabbit hole.
Where we analytically break down our genocide list again, get way more detailed in it. I bet he would have interesting contributions to
women with large labia. Can we get that one? Can I get that added on? We can
add that. I'll try and recover that.
Oh, you're putting him on the
Doc.
Genocide list?
Yes.
Well,
because I'm sure that their children will also have large labia. They should be eliminated.
There are not going to be enough women for everybody to fuck, and a lot of the ugly men are going to get angry, and then all the ugly men will be fighting amongst themselves, causing havoc, while you have your harem of any pussy bitches.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right. Sounds pretty great.
Yeah, I got no problem with this. Yeah, add them to the list of those who should be put to death.
Okay, I will do that. Yeah, and I bet that seems like something up his alley if he's all into fucked up humor and snarky kind of sarcastic shit. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, definitely so. I don't want to debate politics, but I do want to debate midget cock size and any outie pussies and And whether or not Arby's roast beef is just absolutely delicious, and you should give it another chance, Taylor. The beef and cheddar, okay? You put a little horsey sauce on there, get those curly fries, dip them in ketchup, dip them in the horsey sauce a little too.
There are no Arby's for the most part in St. Louis because we have a local chain called Lion's Choice, which sells the same kind of food that Arby's provides, except it is way, way better. And so we don't have Arby's here.
Well,
they used to have them here, and then they took them all out because nobody would go to Arby's. Because Arby's, it's like if I peeled off wallpaper and folded it up and then sprayed it with like hot dog water. That's what
you have not
ham
eaten very much. No, it's roast beef. It's delicious. It's really good. I like Arby's a lot.
Where does Arby's rank in your fast food list? It can't be top 10 even.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd say it's top 10. Yeah.
Okay, I can't. Thinking of 10 fast food places would be hard. It couldn't be top 5.
I don't know. I like Chick-fil-A. I like Burger King is actually pretty good. I like the Whopper. I like it. It tastes good. It has the condiments that I like on a burger.
Way better than the Big Mac.
But like Steak and Shake and places like that are really good. I don't know. I'd have to give it a lot of thought, but it's definitely in my top 10. I like what they have there, and it's unique. No one else has roast beef. Like, not a nationwide chain.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that.
Steak and Shake and Chick-fil-A would probably be tied for me in number 1. And it's ironic because one of those restaurants has the kindest, most considerate employees in the world, and the other restaurant has arguably the least pleasant convicts that work there.
Yep.
You have not met a surly attendant at a fast food restaurant until you walk into a Steak and Shake at 1:30 in the morning.
Yep.
They're like genuinely.
Are you completely
worried,
discounting my Waffle House experience?
Oh, Waffle House? They'll seem like fucking Mormons at Waffle House before you go to Steak. They're genuinely mean. Like, you'll try and be polite, and they'll come back. Kyle, I'm sure you have experienced the same thing, because there are tons of Steak and Shakes around here, and not once have I gotten good customer service.
Waffle House usually has white trash who are generally, okay, because they're right there next to their favorite things, right? Fried food and truckers. But meanwhile, over at Steak and Shake, it's often black people who couldn't get another job because they're ex-cons. And they are wiping those tables down with so much angst, so much built-up rage inside them. So many kids have spilt their fucking milkshakes and they couldn't say shit because they didn't want to lose their job because the system's fucked up and it's keeping them down. And they're just a volcano ready to erupt in there.
Yeah, you ask for a little extra Frisco sauce for your Frisco melt because they're doling that out the way you would pour wax on an envelope centuries ago. Like, instead of slathering it, that's what we want.
Just it up.
Yeah, I've been there, and I'm like, I'm not going to go speak to that gentleman because he doesn't even have tears tattooed under his eye. It looks like it's a downpour, like a Seattle downpour on his left cheek, which means I don't want
lot of homies.
Yeah, I don't want to become, teardrop number 62 on there. So I'll just eat my shitty, not enough Frisco sauce.
Yeah, there's a Steak and Shake not too far from me. I drive past it all the time, and I really want to go, but I'm dieting, so I can't. And there's a Smash Burger. There's a Smash
those are pretty
Burger.
good.
I wouldn't know. I've never had a Smash Burger, and I've been resisting the urge to go in there. Apparently, their fries. I've been reading about them online. This is what I do. I drive past Smash Burger. I finally get home, and I'm sitting there eating my salad with grilled chicken. And I'm like, what's in a Smash Burger? And it's like their fries are like rosemary and olive oil and garlic or something like that. And their burgers are really good. And they have these fancy chicken sandwiches. And they have Haagen-Dazs milkshakes. And it's just like, that sounds excellent. Excellent.
That sucks that you can't have it. That does sound really good, though.
Yeah. They need to make a pill. See, this is the future. When this happens, it's game over. There needs to be some sort of treatment for overeating. Like, there should be a way that I could take a pill, I could eat 10,000 calories if I wanted to, but I just wouldn't absorb it, right? And there wouldn't be any gross side effects.
We could call it like bulimia.
Or we could just go whole hog, call it anorexia. That's what we would want.
No, he wanted the 10,000. No, anorexia is not what you want. He wants to
eat
without the consequence.
Here.
Yeah,
I think Kyle's current structure is good. You gorge yourself on whatever you want for months at a time, and then you have like a 3-week, 4-week period where you cut it all off. You cut all the shit. And then you can go back to what you were doing and enjoy yourself till you balloon back up. That's a healthy, normal way to live. This is how adults maintain their weight. Yes.
It's just a good relationship with food. Yeah.
It's a fucked up fucking month.
You have to let the food hold all the power in that relationship.
Mm.
You can't take it back from the food. The food's too good.
I love food. It's top 2 favorite things in life is food.
Food and sex.
Food and sex, right? And they move, they're back and forth fighting. They're neck and neck fighting for first place all the time.
Food and sex are definitely up there. How about when there's like a rude person in traffic behind you and they don't make it through the light, but you do? That feels good.
That does feel good.
We used to do that on purpose when I was a kid.
I'd like it better
if
they
slow down and fuck with people.
I'd like it better if they tried to follow me through the light and they got T-boned, though.
Oh, see, I've never been graceful enough to pull that off.
Well, I haven't either.
James
but
Bond move.
That would be better.
Yeah.
I would prefer.
No, one time we did that, and then so we're in a car of like 4 people, and we're like 17 years old, skinny high school kids, and there's a guy. We went super slow, like so that he would get caught by the light, and he ran it. And we were all laughing hysterically. We thought it was the funniest thing. And I recognize this is asshole behavior. Please don't judge me. The guy wasn't like a tough guy or anything. He kind of looked like the principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right? Like a grown up.
Stein.
But
He ended up being a pedophile.
no, Ben Stein is the teacher. The principal had
you're
red
right.
hair and a mustache.
And a pedophile at that.
Ended up being a real
let me
creep.
turn this off. And he followed us like block after block, turn after turn, and suddenly our relation. And mind you, there's like 3 or 4 of us and 1 of him, but now we're all intimidated. We're all scared, and he pulls up next to us and like offers to fight or something, and we all decline. We're like, no, we don't want that. And he's like, all right then, and he lets us drive off. And to this day, I still feel like it was the smart move, right? Like, what's either a bunch of young bucks beat up an older guy, that's not cool, or an older guy beats up a bunch of young bucks, that's not that cool. I think
Scott was leaving work, passed a car, and he thought that the passing was done perfectly fine. He didn't even think of anything of like him passing the car. He pulls over to a gas station maybe a mile down the road. The man he passed pulls in, gets out, starts screaming at Scott. You almost hit me back there. Look at this piece of shit you're driving. What if you'd hit me with that? What if you'd hit me? You can't afford to fix my car. You can't afford to fix that $50,000 truck. And he's like, and that hurt my feelings. I just had gotten off work. I've been working for 9 hours that day, working hard, and he was making fun of me for not being able to. He's like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I knocked him the fuck out, and I hit him once, and he just hit the ground unconscious. And his wife got out, and she starts screaming, "What'd you do to Billy? What'd you do to Billy?" And I know what to do, so I said, "Shut up, bitch! Get back in the truck!" And she did, and then I had to flee. And I'm like, well, is he okay? He's like, I don't have any idea. I was like, well, if you killed him, we'd have heard about it by now.
they'd be looking for him, yeah.
He'd be looking for you.
Getting knocked out's fucked up. I bet that. I hope that his wife drove after that. I hope he was like,
Yeah,
you know
right?
what? Yeah. I drove
Hey,
once.
you should probably go to the hospital.
It's
Check
like
it out.
7 or 8 years ago. I drove after I got choked out. It was in training, somebody better than me. And it was like drunk driving almost. Like it was a bad decision, I think. But I was in California and didn't have any choices that I could think of. I guess I could have hired an Uber or something, but before then. Anyway, when I pulled into the hotel, I was like relieved that I got there safely. It was just like, because I was kind of fucked up. All the lights, like bad migraine headache type thing. And knocked out's worse. I don't think I've ever been fully knocked out, just dazed.
I've been knocked out from concussions.
Like for a bit, or just like fell down and got up?
Like
10 count or standing 8 count?
I don't look well with the. I don't know how much time passed. See, that's the thing.
Okay.
Like it could have been, minutes, or it could have been seconds. Like you just have. It's like that time doesn't exist.
So you were
I just
alone,
don't know.
maybe?
Yeah, 4-wheeler accidents.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and then one of them was a rope swing accident. My dad had this. It was actually like the cable that they stretch between telephone. It was an electrical cable, like the big, really thick cables that run power between power lines. And it was hung really high up in a limb, and then there's a loop at the bottom, and I'd swing off the hill out of the and at the sort of the apex of the swing, when I'm like, I would do that thing where you like lean way back to like get more momentum, and while I was leaning back, like swinging, it snapped perfectly and just smashed the back of my head into the ground. And I don't know. I don't know how much time passed. It literally could have been 2 seconds, or it could have been 2 minutes. There's no way to know.
Yeah, no, mine were quick. Take a knee and get up again. One time I wasn't looking on the basketball court, and a basketball hit me like right on the forehead, and that just knocked me silly. Like I got down and
Did it actually knock you out, or were you just like stunned and like dizzy?
Dazed.
It was real fast, right? Like by the time I hit the ground, I had kind of come to again. In MMA, they might call that a flash knockout.
Yeah, Scott.
That's what it's like when you take like a puck really hard to the face on your mask, where like it doesn't knock you out, but you're just like stunned and like spinning for a second.
Scott punched me in the face with a 16-ounce glove one time and sent me to the mat.
Yeah, I've had that too.
We did one of those moves where we both threw a right and hit each other.
Like a YouTube video from like 2008.
Absolutely. And his floored me and mine stunned him. And I was just kind of sitting on the ground like, we shouldn't do this anymore. And he's like, no, we shouldn't. What were we thinking? We're not boxers.
I was at Joe Lozon's gym, and I was on top in a guy's guard, right? And he punched me from the bottom in the chin. And it was like, the fuck? I did not know punches from the bottom could work that well, And Joe saw it too. He's like, yeah, you need to be close or far. You're in the middle there, and he'll knock your lights out. Like, yeah, sure enough.
A bit of MMA talk, if Taylor will allow it. Tito Ortiz fighting Chuck Liddell. It's gonna happen.
Sad.
It is sad, but I'm gonna watch it, right?
Did you see the Reddit thread? That was like the theme of it.
I didn't see it. I watched Rogan earlier today live with Brendan Schwab, and they had a very similar conversation. For your information, Taylor, do you remember the Iceman, Chuck Liddell, the guy with the mohawk?
Yeah, he was in The Expendables.
He's 48 years old now. He's running low on cash, and he wants to. And he is coming back to fight his arch nemesis Tito Ortiz, who's also an older guy, but not 48. I would guess Tito's 40.
And he seems to have held up better.
I don't know about that. Tito's had all those neck injuries, right? He was in a neck brace like 3 or 4 months ago.
Chuck looks like he had issues with drugs at some point.
Alcohol.
Just punched. Okay. Online they say cocaine. I don't really know.
I don't know a ton about cocaine, but I don't think it makes you slur your words the way that I've seen Chuck slur in interviews. Like I saw an interview.
Oh, that's probably cocaine doesn't make you do that. It's an upper. Like if you're not going to be slurring, you might be rambling or being nonsensical, but you're not going to slur.
Let me see if I can find the Chuck Liddell slur.
I bet it's just brain damage at this point, right?
Yeah, like Taylor's just getting hit too many times can do it. I guess alcohol can do it. He just doesn't to me, I think Tito's probably a better athlete at this point, and it might be a bit of a mismatch. Although their history is Chuck won twice. So Chuck is 2-0 against this guy, but they're still kind of enemies, if I recall. And so that's a thing. And a thing people might not know. So Chuck Liddell was the star of the UFC at one point. He was the top guy. He was the top draw. Everyone loved him, and he was iconic, right? Like Conor McGregor of his days, back when things were smaller. And an 8-year-old could draw a crayon drawing of Iceman, and you'd know that it was him with the blue shorts and the mohawk and stuff. Like he just had a thing going on. And then somehow his chin stopped working. Punches that he used to walk through. It used to be he'd take one to give 3. Now he couldn't make that deal anymore. Yeah. And he started losing, and he started getting beat badly, and it was ugly to watch it. And Dana White said, Chuck, you have got to retire. He's like, one more fight. This training camp is going so well. Everything is great. He lost that fight. So he agreed to Dana's terms, which is basically, look, we'll give you a job here at the UFC. You do nothing. We pay you $300,000 a year to not do a gosh darn thing, and you can retire. So it was kind of like a pension plan to reward a guy in retirement. Well, once the UFC got sold, which is like 18 months ago, the 3 or 4 people who had a gig like Chuck lost it, including Chuck. So now, at 48 years old, he's fighting for money. And
that's sad. It's sad, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it because, A, he'll get some of my money. I don't know where it'll be or how it'll be broadcast, and I'm assuming it'll be a pay-per-view thing. And B, I'm curious. It's a spectacle. I want him to win so bad.
It's
so
confusing.
I would love him to knock Tito out and do that thing where it's like he throws his fist back and runs around and does his little celebration. I'd love to see that again. Let's one more time at a Chuck.
I'd like to see him win, but at the same time, it's like, well, one doesn't, based on what you guys are saying, doesn't seem like he's going to win. And then also, is there no other option for him to make money? He can't wear some Reeboks or endorse a protein powder. It's like if you already have brain problems, you're gonna go
and a battery too, right?
Yeah, he had some sort of a drink. It looked like one of those it was one of those tall cans of tea or something like that, or an energy drink or something. I don't know. Who would buy it? Who would buy the Chuck Liddell soda? When you start thinking about it,
it doesn't have to be. Hi, I'm Chuck. I'm Chuck, and I've got 6 brain cells left.
Yeah, I
love
feel
this
like.
soda.
Have you tried Amnesia by Chuck Liddell? You won't be able to remember where you left your keys.
You'll know it's working when your hands start shaking.
Even if LeBron James advertises this aspects of LeBron, I'd like to be that, right?
Sure.
That's not the case with Chuck anymore.
No.
It would have to be a supplement kind of thing, because in that way the age helps him a little bit, because it's this is a guy who existed in that arena for years and years and years, so he would know which kind of pre-workout or protein powder, even if he's not in his prime. That's what he should be doing.
Dick pills and fucking testosterone booster for men in their late 40s, early 50s.
Taylor has his marketing hat on, right? He should be on full-on steroids with the body of a 19-year-old, pretending that whey protein let him do that.
Sure, do it, man. That's what you should be doing. Or Kyle talking about ED, if he was willing to do an ED commercial.
Yes.
That would be, I bet he would
Since
make
I started putting testosterone in my ass, my balls shrunk up. Try this.
You never see Viagra or Cialis spots running with an actual celebrity. It's not like, hi, I'm Johnny Depp and my dick doesn't work right. It's always just some anonymous, pick out of the pile actor.
Yeah.
So any Cialis, any of those pharma firms, if they get approached by a guy like Chuck Liddell, where it's a masculine guy, really, really trying to tie how this isn't an emasculating problem with someone who's hyper masculine, they'd fill his pockets with money.
Yeah.
The only catch is you have to say my dick doesn't work tacitly on television.
I do know a celebrity that did that.
Bob Dole.
That's the one.
Oh, he's not. Who cares?
I mean, he was almost the president of the United States.
Yeah,
but he was so old at the time. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes him a good guy for that.
I can still see him walking on the beach. I'm Bob Dole, and my dick doesn't work. Neither does my campaign platform. That's why I'm talking to you about my dick not working.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's 94 years old. So, in that way, he was...
Pull that number out.
He was in a wheelchair at the inauguration.
I looked
looked like shit.
Yeah, he's 94. But that would make him still old enough for your dick not to work 18 years ago.
Yeah, totally.
You know who looks bad? H.W. Bush.
He's in his 90s too.
Yeah, he's really old. But for some reason,
skydiving last year.
It was. I don't know if he did it last year, but I do know he did it
attempted
old.
suicide is not skydiving.
But he, for whatever reason, I usually I watch celebrities age and it's no big deal. But something about watching him age has been tougher viewing for me.
Yeah, he did it on his 90th birthday, which was 4 years ago.
Okay.
He's 95 or some shit now.
His wife just died, so if there were a celebrity death pool, I would definitely want to put money on him, because you know how those old couples are. Like it seems like when the wife goes, the husband isn't.
I hope I'm like that. Hypothetical single Woody at 96 doesn't need to live long. Right?
Yeah.
Here's a time for me to put my money where my mouth was.
Give me that pussy.
Where's that produce, pussy? 96 years old.
I'm going to take my teeth out. Eat that pussy.
Woody, this
I
watermelon.
love them big labias.
You'd be lucky to
Oh,
fuck a watermelon, let alone the
I
women.
want to feel one on each ear while I'm eating that pussy. Blah, 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 blah.
Let's end on that note.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he did reply to me, the gubernatorial candidate. That useless trash. Oh, I wrote, if I actually followed truth and reality, I'd listen to the future governor of Utah. That useless trash talking didn't change the facts even in the slightest. You can't promote real instruction, and you can't promote incompetent people who trained with incompetent people at Blackhawk who pushed the same horrific garbage gear that they broke their back on. You can fly and promote the best and safest gear in the world, or you can promote the worst death trap garbage gear on the market and so many injured and killed. I'm not here to change frauds into good people, as this it's already obvious which spirit they have chosen to follow. I'm here for the decent, honorable people that are really interested in facts of which gear is really going to be the most likely to give them the best safety and performance. For those that care about the truth, give me a call.
Jeez.
For those that hate the truth, I really don't care. You will get what's coming to you. It's only a matter of time.
Oh, you're gonna go to hell.
It turns out for flying an ozone wing.
Yep, if you're not registering to vote in Utah.
I think I got to use that in my reply. Painkiller Dearly 202.